everyone, my name is Clarice. I'm a freshman at Centennial High School, and today, my dog decided to come say hi. You wanna say hi, Maple? Today we're going to be baking a vanilla bean cake with some raspberry buttercream frosting. We'll need eggs, sugar, flour, baking powder, salt, milk, butter, oil, and vanilla extract. You'll also need powdered sugar and raspberry puree for the frosting. Start by placing 4 eggs in a bowl. Then, with an electric mixer, beat them lightly until they look like this. Next, put 1½ cup of white granulated sugar and beat until you get this consistency. Then whisk together your dry ingredients, which include 2 cups of flour, 2½ teaspoons of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. In sections, combine your dry ingredients with the eggs and sugar from before. Be sure to repeat the process until it looks something like this. It should be spreadable, and it's alright if it's a bit thick, because that'll change later. Separate bowl, combine 1 cup of milk with a stick of butter and melt. Then add 3 teaspoons of oil and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I also added a little bit of vanilla bean paste because I personally like how it brings out that vanilla flavor, and I like to be able to see the little dots in the cake as well. Combine this mixture with the eggs, sugar, and dry ingredients from before. Beat with an electric mixer until you get a consistency that looks like this. This recipe filled 2 cake pans for me, but it really depends on what you have, so be sure to grease them accordingly. Then you're going to place the cakes in the oven where they'll bake for about 30 minutes. While the cakes are in the oven, we're going to start our frosting. To begin, make your raspberry puree by placing some fresh raspberries that have been washed into your blender. Soften 1.5 sticks of butter in the microwave. Mine turned out to be a bit more melted, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. Then slowly add in 4½ cups of powdered sugar. It's alright if it looks a bit dry at first. Then you're going to separate your batches into one small and one big one. For the small one, I added a bit of milk to make it smoother. But for your next batch, which is the batch you're going to add some raspberry puree to, you don't need to add as much milk. Also, be sure to pass your raspberry puree through a strainer as to not get any seeds in your frosting. Once a toothpick comes out clean, take the cakes out of the oven and refrigerate your frostings. I didn't want my cakes to be too big, so I cut them into smaller pieces. Then to begin frosting, I started by putting a dollop of raspberry buttercream in the center and spreading it out through each layer. I then repeated the process until it got to something like this. Next, create a crumb coat layer of icing around your cake. After you do this, feel free to decorate however you want. With this type of icing, I had some trouble getting it to go on smoothly, so I decided to take a different approach. This was my final result. While it did lean a little bit, overall I'm pretty happy with how it turned out because this is my first time making this recipe and actually frosting a cake. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you decide to try out the recipe, I hope you guys liked how it turned out. Until next time, be sure to stay safe. Bye!